Good morning, student. Today we are going to discuss the modern physics. The concept of modern physics will be started with the concept of photon. It's also known as quantum physics. In 1905, the Einstein proposed that the electromagnetic radiation or light is made up by photon. Thus, the photon is the elementary element of light, or light is made up by the photons. So modern physics is basically based on the concept of photons. Einstein showed that the light energy is not emitted continuously, but is emitted by the individual amount of energy, or we can say packets of energy, that is known as quantum of energy. What is the energy of photon? According to the Einstein, each photon of a light wave of a frequency is given as E equals to h mu, where h is the Planck constant having the value 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34, and mu is the frequency of photon. What is the basic properties of photon then? Number one, a photon does not have any mass. Second, a photon does not have any charge and are not deflected in the electric field or magnetic field. All the quantum number are zero for the photon. In empty space, the photon moves at the speed of light. In the interaction of radiation with the matter, the radiation behaves as it is made up of particles called photons. So we can say that the photons are the bundles of energies. The energy and momentum of a photon are related as E equals to Pc, where P is the magnitude of momentum and the C is the speed of light. The value of a speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Photon is also known as the virtual particle. The energy of photon is directly proportional to the frequency with the formula E equals to h mu, and inversely proportional to the wavelength with the formula E equals to hc by lambda. What is the photoelectric effect then? As we can say, when a beam of light of a sufficient high frequency onto a clean metal surface, then the light will cause an electron to leave the surface. The phenomena of emission of electron by the metal when they expose in the light is known as photoelectric effect, and the emitted electron is known as photoelectric electron or photoelectron. But we have to consider that we have to fall the radiation always on a negative place. How the photoelectric effect takes place? Construction. The Hertz experiment setup used for the structure is also explained in a figure. The setup consists of an evacuated glass tube that has a photosensitive metal plate C and another metal plate A as shown. A monochromatic light source emerging from the source S of sufficiently short wavelength enters the glass plate is known as emitter. That is a working of photoelectric effect. When a beam of light falls on a photosensitive metal plate, it is called emitter. The plate emits photoelectron due to the photoelectric effect. The photoelectron emitted by the plate C will be attracted. The current is known as photocurrent. That is the apparatus which are used in a photoelectric effect. What are the basic characteristics of photoelectric effect? The photoelectric effect, when the light of suitable frequency is incident on a metal surface, then the electrons are emitted from the surface. This effect is known as the photoelectric effect. The basic point which we have to consider when we talk about the photoelectric effect is threshold frequency. Threshold frequency is the minimum frequency which is required for the emission of a photoelectron. Photoelectric current is directly proportional to the intensity of light. The kinetic of photoelectron is directly proportional to the frequency of light. The stopping potential is also directly proportional to the frequency of light. The process is instant. That are the basic characteristics of photoelectric effect. If we consider the Einstein photoelectric equation, it is given as h mu equals to W naught plus kinetic energy, where h mu is the energy of photon, W naught is a work function, and kinetic energy is given as half mv square. There are a different conditions when the emission takes place. If the value of mu is less than the mu naught, there is no emission. When mu is equals to mu naught, the emission is just begin, and when mu is greater than mu naught, the emission takes place. That is a photoelectric cell and LDR. So if we consider what is the working of photoelectric cell, a high tension battery and a microammeter are connected to a plate. And when the light of suitable frequency is incident on the emitter, it is start emitted the photoelectron are attracted toward collector A. What are the application of photoelectric effect? The basic application are photoelectric effect are used exposure meters. Photocells, it is also an effect of a photoelectric effect. Photoelectric cells are used in a burglar alarms. That is a main application of photoelectric effect. Photoresistors, a photoresistor or LDR is a resistor whose resistance decreases with increased incident light on intensity. That is a symbol of LDR. That is a construction phenomena of LDR. A light sensitive material such as cadmium rod is deposited to ceramic substance. Then the subtract along with the photosensitive layer of the code is this. The operation is based on a photoelectric effect. So what we have learned about the photoelectric effect, then a certain light is called the negative